My stepmom lied, got me kicked out after a car accident, and now they want me at their vow renewal. 2 years ago, I was in a horrific car accident. A drunk driver in a truck rear-ended me, and it messed me up bad. I was bedridden for 3 months, in so much pain I could barely move. But my dad didn't seem to care. He kicked me out of the house. I was 18, and I'd taken his car to practice driving for my license test, which was just days away. I didn't even go far. The crash happened in our neighborhood. I'd asked my stepmom for permission since my dad was at work, and she said yes. But then she flipped the script, told my dad I stole the car to look cool and party with friends without asking her. He bought her story without hearing me out and threw me out. My stepmom always acted weird around me, but I never thought she'd stoop to lying to get me kicked out. That was next level. She's been in my life since I was 4. My bio mom bailed right after I was born, signing away her rights. She and my dad were never married, so she just walked away, and dad stepped up to raise me solo. I was happy when he started dating my stepmom at 4. They married 3 years later. But it was clear early on she wasn't gonna be a mom to me, just dad's wife. We didn't get along as a kid, and as I got older, it got worse. She'd pick fights over nothing, blow it out of proportion, and run to dad, who always took her side. It pissed me off. She started the drama, but I was the bad kid. I was counting down to college to get out, but the accident derailed that. I had to move in with my grandparents because dad didn't want me around. It wasn't about money. He owns a business, we had good insurance, and the car was covered. The only reason he kicked me out was stepmom's BS story about me joyriding to impress friends. She even claimed she overheard me planning it and begged me not to, but I ignored her. This was after the accident, when doctors said I'd be bedridden for months. I was already in agony, and she was spinning lies. For a week, we argued about what really happened. I snapped, screamed at her, called her a liar, and said she was just jealous of sharing dad with me. I told her she's got issues if she could accuse me of stuff I didn't do while I was in that condition. That was the final straw for dad. He sent me to my grandparents, who thankfully took me in. It crushed me that my own dad would kick me out when I couldn't even walk. I told him choosing her over me meant I'd never see him the same way. He said I needed discipline and he couldn't keep hurting his wife because I was acting like a spoiled brat. That made it crystal clear he trusted her over me. It hurt like hell, and I decided I was done with him. It was tough. He'd been my only parent my whole life. Stepmom was never family to me, just a fixture in the house. I don't think I was ever family to her either. After that, I realized neither of them deserved to be called my family. That word carries weight, and dad showed me my stepmom mattered more. My grandparents stepped up, got me a full-time caregiver, and made me feel loved. They got it. They knew the hell I was going through. They tried to get dad to visit, but he always had excuses. Too busy, too tired. He didn't see me once in the 2 months after the accident or after kicking me out. Eventually, my grandparents fought with him over how he was treating me. He told them my stepmom gave him an ultimatum, her or me, and he chose her. He said I needed to be better and learn to get along with people before we could talk again. To him, I was an unbearable child he couldn't deal with anymore. So, we stopped talking. My grandparents got me through recovery and sent me to college. I've got 1 year left until graduation, and I'm moving forward with their support and my friends. I hadn't heard from my dad or stepmom in years and had no urge to mess with their lives. I was doing fine without them. But last week, out of nowhere, my stepmom texted me. She said they're renewing their vows in a couple weeks and want me there. I was floored and told her I'm not coming. She insisted I have to show up, saying dad would formally invite me soon. Apparently, some of his business partners know he has a daughter, from family photos on his desk, and it'd be awkward to explain why I'm not at such a big event. She said dad was already planning to reach out to fix things, and I should just accept the invite and let it go. No way, I'm not forgetting what they did 2 years ago. It still stings. I ignored her message. A few hours later, she texted again, calling me an ungrateful little expletive who's too immature to act right, especially when dad's trying to make amends even though I don't deserve it. Then she threatened me show up or I'd be cut out of any inheritance, including dad's business or money. She said she'd make sure of it. That set me off. Did she really think her weak threats would scare me? I blocked her first on socials, now her number 2. I'd kept their numbers unblocked before, thinking it wasn't necessary, but that did it. I thought that'd be the end, but nope. She emailed me, doubling down that I have to come because the vow renewal is tied to dad's work, and he desperately wants me there. Even then, she couldn't drop the condescending tone or threats. I'd had enough. I decided to stop dodging and go nuclear. I made a public post with screenshots of our texts, laying out everything, her lies, the accident, getting kicked out. I tagged her, dad, and a couple of his colleagues whose names and profiles I found online. I did it on purpose. I wanted his work buddies and partners to see how he treated me, especially since stepmom said the vow renewal was partly a business event. I didn't expect much blowback, but the next day, my grandparents told me Dad's freaking out. My post did some real damage. He was in early talks for a business merger, but now it's likely dead because of the post. It spread since I tagged his colleagues, and his reputation took a hit. He doesn't exactly look like father of the year. Now he thinks it's my fault the deal's falling apart since the other company ghosted him. My grandparents think I might have gone too far, that stepmom was the real problem, not dad. Now I'm second guessing myself. Did I screw up by airing this publicly? My take, this one's tough. On one hand, she's totally justified, her stepmom's a manipulative liar, and her dad failed her hard. On the other, blasting him publicly like that. I don't know if that was the move. Also, I'm curious about the business side. Why would a company ditch a merger over a family scandal? Doesn't seem like being a bad dad makes you a bad CEO, right? Maybe I'm clueless about business, but it feels off. Like, if the merger's about money and numbers, why care about his family drama? Unless it's about trust or leadership vibes, I guess. What do you think? Did she go too far, or was she right to call them out? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Update 1, I took down the post. Hey, it's been a couple days since my post exposing my dad, and I decided to delete it. Some of you asked why I call my dad and stepmom parents when our relationship's trash. Well, dad's my bio dad, and stepmom's been around since I was a kid, so it's just habit. I don't know what else to call them. It doesn't mean anything deep, so don't read into it. Anyway, I deleted the post and unblocked my dad to open the door to talk. Most of you said I don't owe them anything or need to apologize, but I felt like I should at least explain I didn't mean for things to blow up that bad. I had no clue about the merger or how big a deal it was for his business. I didn't exactly apologize, I just told him the last 2 years still hurt, and when I heard he only wanted me at the vow renewal to save face with his business buddies, it stung. My stepmom's behavior was straight up vile, and that's why I posted. I sent him all that in one message, not expecting a reply. I figured he'd be pissed, but he responded, saying it's fine, he deserved it for what he did, and he doesn't blame me. That threw me off. I was ready for him to yell. I talked to my grandparents to see if they knew why he was acting so chill. Turns out, he's been regretting what happened for a while, and my post was just the final straw. They'd already been talking to him about it before I messaged. He admitted he screwed up by kicking me out, that it was his call, but he was lost and believed stepmom's stories about me being a horrible kid. A couple weeks after, he started doubting her and himself but never had the guts to admit he was wrong and reach out. He knew he deserved my reaction, so he didn't fight it. They also said the vow renewal wasn't a business event at all, no partners were even invited, just family. He has no idea why stepmom lied about that, probably to stir up drama. I still don't get her deal. Anyway, he saw the text screenshots in my post and realized she's been lying big time. It sparked a huge fight, and now their relationship's in shambles. He's still waiting to hear about the merger but thinks it's toast. His personal life's a mess, and that's his focus now. Talking to my grandparents left me confused about how I feel. They're proud I reached out to dad, even if it wasn't a full apology, because I don't owe him one. This mess came from stepmom's lies, and at least I showed respect by trying to talk. I'm still not sure what to do with dad. The last 2 years sucked, and it was easier to handle when we weren't talking. Now I don't know what to think or feel. Update 2, I can't just cut him off. Hey, a lot of you in the comments said I should go no contact with my dad again. I get where you're coming from, but I don't think that's the move for me. I already broke the silence by messaging him after the post, so ghosting him now would feel weird. I've got too many unresolved questions and emotional baggage. I need at least one real talk to get some closure. Maybe after that, I could cut contact, but not yet. Call me weak or dumb, but I know what my heart needs, and I'll figure it out. I talked to my grandparents about how I'm feeling and said I think dad and I need to sit down and hash it out. They agree it's a good idea and are working with him to set up a meeting. From what I hear, things are rough between him and stepmom, might even be headed for divorce. Ironic, right? They were about to renew their vows, and now it's crashing down. My grandparents are also trying to mend things with dad since they don't have forever, and they want to use their time wisely. I get why it matters to them. They say dad's genuinely torn up, barely caring about the merger anymore. All he talks about is how he failed me as a father. I'm starting to see his side. I never really tried to before. My grandparents will let me know when the meeting's set, and I'm hoping it goes okay. Update 3, we finally talked. 2 days ago, I met my dad for the first time in 2 years at my grandparents' place. It was super emotional. I still can't believe we got to talk about everything that's been eating at me and get answers to questions that haunted me. He started by apologizing for all I went through, saying he failed as a dad and doesn't even deserve to be in the same room as me. He said I'd become a better person than he could have imagined, and he had no part in it. Honestly, I don't fully agree. He raised me almost single-handedly when I was little since stepmom ignored me. Things only got bad when I grew up and clashed with her. Still, he owned up to his mistakes, especially siding with her over me. He said he believed her because she was older and he never thought she'd lie. She manipulated him like a pro when they were alone. He admitted he made the wrong choice, and even when he started doubting her, he didn't have the courage to admit it and reach out. That's why he never contacted me after kicking me out. He said it's up to me whether I accept his apology and want to work on our relationship. If I choose to cut him off again, he'll respect it because he knows how badly he screwed up. I also learned he and Stepmom are divorcing, she's already moved out. When he saw the screenshot showing she lied about the vow renewal, they had a massive fight. She admitted to lying about the car accident too, and he couldn't stay with her after that. I told him I need time to think about what I want. I'm wrestling with whether to give him a second chance. Most people would say don't, but he's my dad, the only parent I've got. The last few years were awful, but I don't want that to erase the good he did before. I'm not sure yet, so I'm asking you guys, what do you think? I want to fix things and build a real family with him. This feels like my only shot, so please keep that in mind when you comment. I really want this to work. Update 4, I'm giving it a shot. I've decided to try rebuilding with my dad. Next week, we're starting family therapy together. I'm hopeful we can make it work and really talk more. My grandparents are thrilled, and I'm looking forward with hope. Honestly, I'm ready to let the past go and forgive him. My take, her saying she's gonna be financially independent sounds cool, but it's a bit naive, like, wanting it doesn't make it happen. It's that young, I can conquer the world vibe, which is great but not always realistic. Also, about the merger thing, why would a company care about family drama? I saw an interview with some CEO who picked a manager because the guy was fearless surfing big waves, so maybe personal character does matter in business. If you're a bad dad, maybe people think you'll screw over employees too. I'm no business expert, so I could be off. What do you think about her choice to forgive her dad? And does family drama really tank business deals? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and thanks for watching. Check out our last video linked here, subscribe if you haven't, and see you next time.